Okay, two things I want to talk about. One, just went and seen The Evil Dead, or Evil Dead, I'm sorry. And that was actually pretty good. For those who don't know, it's actually a remake from an older movie back in like early 80s, late 70s, I think, in there somewhere. It was a low budget movie, the original was. Probably made for like, $10 or something like that. And it was supposed to be like the scariest movie of all time, and it was hilarious. Loved the movie, loved it. I mean, it's just so over the top and bad that it's awesome. And the remake kind of took away some of the bad acting and the bad, not really effects. The effects actually are pretty cool in the first one, but a lot of the bad stuff and lame stuff and funny stuff, but kept, the just over the top gore, and stuff. I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but there's only one character that really doesn't get mutilated in some way, And another thing I want to talk about is, the whole violence in movies thing. I'm sitting here giggling about how these people are like just totally mutilated in this movie and stuff, but it's a movie. That's it. My wife was terrified. I mean, she literally had her head underneath her coat for probably at least half the movie. And, I kept telling her, it's just a movie. It's just a movie, And that's something I think a lot of people don't understand about this. It's a movie, people. It's all fake. The most real thing about it is the sets, and that wasn't even that real, and the people that are portraying the characters. They're really actors. That's it. Everything else is fake. Everything else is scripted. It's all fake. It's just a movie. It's meant to take you away from your life and show you something and give you a release. For that, let's just say 2 hours. You go, you sit down, and you leave all your problems from work and home and all that stuff outside. You sit there and you laugh, you scream because you're scared, you cry because it's so wonderful and emotional, you're amazed by the special effects or whatever, but that's it. That's what you do. You go outside, you pick up your life, and you carry on. And a lot of these people who preach that, violent movies lead to violent acts, and, a lot of it's like they don't realize that. It's like they don't understand it's just a movie. Just accept that it's just a movie and go on with your life. It's, I mean, there are some, even fictional films, that are meant to elicit a certain response. To inspirational, to be funny, to scare you. I'm not going to add that one up. Or even the inspirational type movies, that when you leave, they want you to be like, wow, that was amazing. I'm going to change my viewpoints and stuff like this. But that's it. I mean, you can take whatever you want from a movie. And that's what really scares me a little bit about these people. Because you're telling me, let's use Evil Dead for example, you're telling me you went to that movie, and apparently it affected you so much that you want to go out and commit an act of violence, that you think everyone else is going to do it too. That's kind of what I think that's going on inside your mind. Because I went to go see the movie, and first off, I was kind of comparing it to the original. I was looking at how they did the special effects. I wasn't so much looking at how the actors were acting. You know, I do kind of find it interesting. You know, like how does this person? I'm gonna use a perfect example, like Samuel Jackson. The man just disappears. There are certain movies that are written for Samuel Jackson. That's who he's gonna be. You know, but there are other movies where he disappears into the role. Movie 187 is a perfect example. You're watching this movie, and many times watching that movie, I was like, oh yeah, that's Samuel Jackson. Oh yeah. Because he's just so enveloped in that role that, you know, you no longer see the actor, you see the character. You know, but, you know, that's all I do. I don't want to go home that night and murder 25 people. I want to go home that night and laugh about it. I want to go home and actually, what I really want to do is I want to go tell my dad and be like, dude, that movie is awesome. You know, they took a lot of the stuff from the first movie, and they incorporated that, and, you know, they changed some stuff around because, I don't know why, but they did, you know. That's it. That was the most I wanted to do. I wanted to look the movie up to see what goofs there were on, you know, Internet Movie Database, and, you know, see stuff like that. But I didn't want to go out and kill anybody. I want to go out and tell people, oh, the movie's awesome. That's my response. You know, I went and seen that movie Machete, another one full of blood, gore, people whacking each other's limbs off and stuff like that. And again, I was amazed at the special effects. I was amazed at the level of gore and violence and blood and everything like that these people were coming up with, and just laughing about it. And I know it does sound kind of sick in a way, but I know that it's all fake. I have watched hundreds of violent, gory, bloody movies. I'm talking back to the 70s and stuff, where rated X what meant porn, and everyone's gonna die and there's blood everywhere. You know, that's it. It wasn't porn, like it is today. Like if you say I want to go watch an X-rated movie, they're gonna think, oh, you're gonna watch porno. No, back then it's like you're either watching a porno or you're watching Bloodfest. Actually, I believe there's a movie called Bloodfest. Anyway, but that's it. You know, like one guy said, he went to go see a horror movie, and it didn't make him want to kill people. It made him want to go make horror movies. Because it's a movie, people. That's all it is. That's it. It's a movie. And that's it. And let's see if I have enough time I'm going to talk about it. And it's really interesting that I'm talking about this because one of the previews was for the movie The Purge. And, oh, that looks good. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit because it has to do with what I'm talking about. And what it is basically, and this is just from what I got from the preview and what I looked about online, so I might be somewhat wrong. But in the future, crime is almost non-existent. But every day, every year, for 12 hours, there is no law. You can do whatever you want for 12 hours. And it's really interesting because, you know, what it's meant to do is all that frustration, all that pent-up hatred and rage and anger that you've had throughout the year, you can release it and then the next day go on about your life like nothing ever happened. And it's interesting to me on two levels. One, because I'm just talking about, you know, you go to a violent horror movie and you sit there and you relax and, you know, you vent out all your angst and you're like, yeah, you know, and then you go on about your daily life. And another thing is, it's kind of an interesting from a psychological aspect. I mean, feel free to put in the comments if you want, but what if you could? What if for 12 hours you could do whatever you want? If you wanted to walk up to somebody and drive a machete into their skull and kill them, and the next day nothing would be done about it. You'd never go to prison. You could videotape it, talk about it to all your friends, and nothing would ever come of it. Would you do it? I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. I thought about it. I have no idea. And I say that for two reasons. One, because I do have, like everyone does, anger and stuff like that. But I also understand what that's going to do in here. Because there is a difference between killing in self-defense and just killing somebody just because. And I truly think that if I did just kill somebody just because I felt like it, it would bother me for a long, long time. But I don't know. So, go ahead, put in your comments what you think about The Evil Dead, if you've seen it, or the new one, old or new, and if you want to, if you could commit any crime you wanted to with no consequences, would you do it?